Hello and welcome to my channel Legal Remedies. Before we begin the discussion, may I request you to kindly subscribe to the channel if you have already not done. In this edition of Legal Remedies today, the issue that we have taken up for discussion is whether recent amendments of 2020 to the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of 2016 aid the home buyers. In terms of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, Second Amendment Act of 2018, Section 5(8) of the IBC was amended and homebuyers were recognized as financial creditors. It also clarified that homebuyers as financial creditors could initiate corporate insolvency resolution process against defaulting developers under Section 7 of the IBC. The validity of the amendment as also the position of the homebuyers as financial creditors was reaffirmed by the Honorable Supreme Court in terms of the ratio of the judgment in the case of Pioneer. This empowered the homebuyers to have an additional legal route to claim their dues from the defaulting builders through CIRP, alongside invoking the provisions of Consumer Protection Act and RERA. The law was considered fair and reasonable as it was oriented towards homebuyers who were aggrieved by the conduct of builders in many of the cases due to failed projects and missed deadlines and consequent financial losses. And then on 28th of December 2019 came the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Ordinance 2019, followed by the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Act of 2020, amending among others Section 5, 7, 11, 14, 16, 21, 23, 29A, 32A, 227, 239 and 240. By way of amendment to Section 7, the financial creditors of same class under Clause A or B under subsection 6A of Section 7 were put to conditions of initiating insolvency but with a mandatory threshold limit. The threshold limit set up in terms of the amendment and insofar as in the case of homebuyers for filing an application under Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016 prescribed a joint application by a minimum of 100 allottees or 10% of such allottees of the same class, whichever was less. While other amendments sought to remove bottlenecks and practical difficulties being faced in implementation of the provisions of the code and also attempted to streamline the CIRP, the conditions of threshold introduced in terms of amendment to Section 7 of the code had the effect of making the remedy completely toothless. In as much as a home buyer felt harassed being subjected to first finding and then joining 99 more buyers or 10% of the total number of buyers in the same project before he could approach the NCLT for the redressal of his grievances. Thus, the amendment as such had the effect of substantially diluting and nullifying the alteration made in Section 5(8) of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code in 2018, which permitted the recognition of the homebuyers as financial creditors. The validity of this amendment has been challenged and the Honorable Supreme Court of India is currently seized of the matter. It is being said that amendment was aimed at preventing unscrupulous elements from abusing the spirit of the IBC, intending to unsettle the real estate companies for self-interests at the behest of or in connivance with their rivals. Whatever may have been the consideration, it was argued before the Honorable Supreme Court that the amendment had the effect of nullifying the alteration made in Section 5(8) of the IBC by way of the Amendment Act of 2018 and is violative of Article 14, 19 and 21 of the Constitution. The justification by the government stating that it was taking care of the interest of homebuyers and the requirement of minimum number of homebuyers in the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code had been included to avoid frivolous litigations appeared to be misleading. In the background of the fact of increasing numbers of defaulting real estate companies and aggrieved homebuyers, the onus now is on the Honorable Supreme Court of India to find a solution whereby the equitable rights of homebuyers as financial creditors are not subjected to any curbs Considering that the legislation as such is a welfare one, and in view of the fact that it is mainly the home buyers who have been subjected to such conditions of threshold limit. And now comes another amendment introduced by way of the IBC Amendment Ordinance of 2020, promulgated on 5th of June 2020, by way of which, considering the prevailing circumstances caused by the outbreak of novel COVID-19 pandemic and consequential nationwide lockdown in force since 25th of March 2020, Section 10A has been introduced. The introduction of Section 10A mandates no filing of application for initiation of insolvency resolution process of a corporate debtor for any default arising on or after 25th of March 2020 for a period of 6 months or such further period not exceeding 1 year from such date as may be notified. That the amendment also provides for no application ever to be filed for initiation of CIRP for the said default occurring during the said period. Considering the basis of it, the amendment appears justified. However, the provision restraining any application to be ever filed for initiation of CIRP for the default occurring during the said period appears to be protective towards the defaulting debtors and not equitable, as it fails to address the fact of the creditors also being faced with the same circumstances which are caused by the reasons of outbreak of the pandemic and consequent lockdown. This renders them vulnerable to the default on payment. Thank you for watching the video. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel to view upcoming discussions of the similar nature. And please like, comment and share this video so that others interested may have the benefit of the information. Also, please press the bell icon and get notified about the next releases.